Hello, welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If this is your first time on the channel, consider subscribing as it helps out the channel, and give this video a like if you do like it. Joining me later for this commentary redo is my good friend Manny Cruz.
Hello there, Anthony's Animation Talk. This is Manny Cruz coming in to drop in a few thoughts about the landmark 1937 cartoon Porky's Duck Hunt.
Released on the 17th of April 1937, it's the 161st in the series, and it's directed by Tex Avery. Because of copyright, I can't show you the full cartoon here, otherwise it gets blocked on YouTube. You can find this on the Essential Daffy Duck DVD set, the Porky Pig 101 DVD set, and in high definition on HBO Max. And again, because I can't show you the full cartoon, just a brief synopsis in case you haven't seen this cartoon. And it's very simple. Porky is out hunting, and as he's out hunting, he encounters a very screwy duck. I wonder who he could be.
It's me again.
Yes, we finally meet Daffy. So, I recorded an audio commentary for this short, which I had to take down, but here are the highlights of that track, along with some thoughts from Manny Cruz. Please excuse the quality of the microphone from the reused commentary track. This is definitely a milestone cartoon. As you've no doubt guessed from the thumbnail, this is the first appearance of Daffy Duck. But also it's the first appearance of Mel Blanc doing Porky Pig, and he also does Daffy Duck. So this is also the first time he's voicing two main characters in a short, which he would, needless to say, do over the many years to come. Also, you'll notice that Porky looks a little thinner. He looks closer to the appearance that he would be more associated with. I mean, he's not quite there, but it's pretty close. For this cartoon, Avery was going to use a group of ducks, and that will explain the scene later on with several ducks on Porky's boat. But Clampett convinced Tex Avery to use one duck to make it funnier, and hey, it's a lot easier to of course do one duck as opposed to many. Bob Clampett animated the woohoo scene, and the ending card, which is a classic moment. Well, there's the Bob Clampett animation there that I mentioned before with the woo woo. Bob Clampett was also kind of the co-director here, as he posed and laid out the picture and wrote it with text. So there we go. And here we got some fish, where the song, I believe, the music that's been playing is the How Dry I Am. I'm pretty sure that's the song. I mean, I've probably heard it enough to recognize it. And these fish will go in the boat and sing Moonlight Bay, which of course gets used a few times in over the years in Warner Brothers. I believe that it's the Sportsman Quartet that do the singing here, with Billy Bletcher doing the bass, the one with the banjo. And if you like My Green Fedora, that cartoon where it had the baby Elmer doing the yuk 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 for way too long, well, that's Joe Penner, and that's where they took that laugh from. I'm a huge Daffy fan, and I prefer the more wackier Daffy Duck versus the later Chuck Jones one. I don't hate the Chuck Jones one. I just think it's just a different character, if you will. If that makes sense. I love this gag here. How it's like a fake out gag, and you can see it coming if you're familiar with jokes that Tex would use. You know, they're both black. You know, it looks like he's bringing in the duck, but it's the other way around. Yeah, it's pretty good. I will say, if there is a weak link to this cartoon, it'll be probably this part, because it shifts the focus away from the story a bit. But you know what? It's funny animation. It's one of those things you can just forgive. You know, even if it doesn't quite work. But overall, I mean, I love this cartoon though.
So as we all know, it's the first cartoon to feature that screwy black duck Daffy, as well as the first cartoon to have Mel Blanc take over the role of Porky Pig after the voice being done for the past 2 years by Joe Dougherty. But I just want to say that this cartoon definitely still holds up. I mean, it is not as funny as later efforts with both characters, but you could definitely see the seeds have been planted for the screwiness of not only Daffy, but just Tex Avery really coming to his own with his style and humor. And I can only imagine how the audience reacted to seeing this in 1937 and just pretty much seeing the floodgates open. And as I've said before, Porky's my favorite Looney Tune character. It's great to hear Mel Blanc finally take on the role after Joe did it for 2 years. And again, just seeing the insanity of Daffy being unleashed to the public for the first time. What a feeling, what a feeling. And the start of a beautiful, beautiful friendship between both characters. So, once again, great cartoon. It's definitely one of the most important in the studio's history, and just one of the most important, I would say, in animation history. How it changed things so dramatically. 1937, Daffy's debut, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You can't go wrong. So, that was me chiming in with my thoughts. Have a nice day, folks.
Porky, he's now, as I mentioned before, is now voiced by Mel Blanc, and he talks a lot more in this one. You know, given the fact that Joe Doherty must have been a nightmare to work with because of his real-life stutter, and here at least they can control it and they can get things done. That's another Tex Averyism that he would use in the many shorts to come, especially those documentary-style shorts that he would eventually get onto within a few years. Pay attention to how this particular setup looks. So you can see there, Ma. A picture of his mum right there. Then you got the upstairs neighbour voiced by Billy Bletcher. So clearly they're in an apartment. I want you to remember that. See how now it's got the window there instead of that dressing table, and he's looking outside and it's out, outdoors. And now it's got a backyard, even though before it was clearly an apartment. And what's even more funny is, he'll shoot up again, and yet, even though there's a window, even though there's outdoors, there's still a neighbour upstairs, and it's still clearly an apartment. So, that's okay. We'll forgive it for that.
Hey, that wasn't in the script. Don't let it worry you, Skipper. I'm just a crazy, darn fool duck.
Now, at the time of doing the commentary, I wasn't doing review scores, so I'll give it to you right now, and this one for me, 9 out of 10. It's hilarious from start to finish. Even the inconsistency with the apartment is unintentionally funny as well, and it's just so good. It's not quite a 10 only because of the fish scene, which on its own is funny, but as I said, it does slow down the cartoon that little bit. But what a classic, and what a way to introduce one of the most well-known Looney Tunes characters ever, and it's great to see Mel Blanc actually step in, and nothing against Joe Doherty, but yeah, Mel does it better. That's just my opinion on it. So I hope you enjoy this new review format, reusing the old commentary tracks. Feedback is always welcome, and until next time, take care.